Hey everyone! Making comics is hard. Getting people to buy those comics is even harder most of the time. So we want to help you out.
Today, Destiny will choose 3 indie comic campaigns for us to look at and review. By the end of the show, we will choose who to give our money to based off of their pitch. Watch to the end, see if you agree. So guess what? Let's spin that wheel!
There can be only one.
Woo! I think that one went well.
Well, it was a little clunky on the end, but guess what? So am I. Welcome! I am Smurf with 5280 Geek, and let me introduce you to Deep Thoughts by Matt Campbell.
Hello everyone, I'm Matt Campbell, comic creator and teacher, and today we're going to look at 3 indie comics, but they have a bunch submitted today. Each week we get people submitting their indie comic campaigns, whether they're on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever platform. As long as it's active, we're going to, put it in the Wheel of Destiny. We let Destiny decide, choosing 3 campaigns for us to look at. And then we look at them and we review them and we talk about what we see as far as the pitch. We look at it from a point of view of a consumer. But we try to give some helpful tips and tricks along the way for people who are trying to get their Kickstarter going and help people out. That's what this
Yep.
show is about.
It's all about constructive criticism. We're not here to throw shade. We're not here to tear anybody down. We're not here to cause any drama. No, what we are here to do is help purvey indie comics because that is where it's at. And that is the
Yes.
marketplace. Samurai Jack, one of my favorite all-time cartoons, indie kind of style. I mean, just that is what brought us all into comics. Let's face it, EC horror comics when I was a kid, that was my gateway drug. And I haven't been able to get off since. So let's see what we've got. I do want to say thank you. Mr. Matt Campbell gave me this. One of our viewers has
Clyde.
given me a patch trade.
Yeah.
I run the Colorado Ghostbusters, so I will be sending you a Colorado Ghostbusters patch. If you're a franchise out there and want to do a patch trade, send them in. I'll be more than happy to do that and then show your franchise on the show. So he'll be getting a Colorado Ghostbusters patch in the mail.
Yes. Thank you to Clyde Leonard for that. He also gave me a shirt from their GI Joe group that I wore on the show one day, a couple weeks ago. And they're gonna take one of the GI Joe prints that I made of the Vipers,
Right.
because I think it's a Viper group, a cosplay group.
Oh,
But they're gonna take one of the prints and sell it down there for charity. So I was happy to be a part of that and donate that to them.
I want to see a Crimson Guard group. I mean, the Vipers are cool, but I was always kind of like, preferential towards the Crimson Guards. I like Tomax and Zaymot, but the Crimson Guards, just that look was just, and the helmet. It's one thing for the facelessness, but I love the Crimson Guards.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I actually liked them a little bit more myself when I first was introduced to them, and then I think it was cool that they kind of when they tied in, Cobra Commander with the Crimson Guard. I kind of like that. So I agree with you. A Crimson Guard group, I think, would be cool. So yeah. So thank you for that. Thank you for all the people that have been participating and following us on the live streams, and also going out and checking the video out after the fact on YouTube. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel, and it's growing every week, so we appreciate those people that are following us. And again,
This
you
is
can
what,
show your-
episode 16?
Yes, this is episode 16, and we've got a bunch of submissions today. And also, I want to give a congratulations to last week's winner for Namanova. That was one of only 2 ties we've ever had, and we brought in Ray to help us make a split.
We had more backlash with letting super producer Ray decide on that and not let the wheel do it than I thought possible. I mean, that was our bad.
Yes.
Next time there's a tie, the wheel decides. Super producer Ray, we love you, but Sorry, buddy. You've been
Yes.
ousted by the wheel. They're like, it's your own rules and you didn't follow them. Oh,
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. That's right. So they're like, hey, this is the show of Wheel of Destiny, so you got to use it. So
You got to use the Destiny wheel. Damn it.
you're
but
right.
It
You're
made such good. And it was okay. It was a one-off. It was Super Producer Ray's first appearance. Mark that. That'll be worth something someday. And we'll go.
Yes,
we'll go that way.
this episode will go into the archives as
Super Producer Ray's first.
a key episode.
Yes. Hopefully Ray is
Our super producer just said that before we can use the Wheel of Destiny, he'll just end the episode because he has the power.
Oh, well, he does. He just had click.
Yep.
I was going to say, I was hoping Super Producer Ray is laughing on the other side because we can't hear him.
No, I can see his face down there.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. Well,
so we're going to give this thing a spin. What do you say?
Yeah.
Thanks to Emmy. Emmy is kind enough to put this wheel together for us.
Yes, and not only that, but she was kind enough to put the wheel together for us, even though she has a convention today.
She does?
So,
where's she at?
I'm not exactly sure the name of it, but she had to go be at that right at the same time that the show started, so she got it all together, gave me all the links in the chat, but
nice.
But Ray, if I am struggling to find one, be on the ready for that one. But I think I have them all in the chat. She dumped them in there for me.
Excellent. Well, good luck, Emmy. Hopefully you sell lots.
So let's go down all the people that made it on to the Wheel of Destiny this week. And again, each week we post this. There's a post that's either on the Ashland Studios page or one of the indie comic groups. If you don't see it, just message me and we can do it that way. But the campaign has to be live, and it has to be one that hasn't already been chosen by Destiny to be on one of our previous shows. So we've got today some strange names. I'm hoping to check out some of these. We've got Mittens Space Pilot, Corruptor, Xanthus, Penguino's Revenge, Capable, Divinity 124, The Eternal, LCS number 1, Corruptor, and this is my favorite name so far, Turkey Sharks 1 through 5, the finale.
Oh, why couldn't that have been during Shark Week? Oh, man.
I know,
Turkey
right?
and Mittens. Come on. Mittens and Turkey Shark.
So, which one will Destiny choose? Let's find out. Let's, as they say, spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel. Because there can be only one. I should probably write this down again, huh?
Looks like Penguino's Revenge. Let me make sure I have that link. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Yeah, there it is. All right, we got that one up. Next, we've got looks like LCS. Awesome. This creator has done several other books, so we'll definitely see a familiar name.
Right.
Where is it? There it is. All right, got that one too. Last one, chosen by the Wheel of Destiny. Who's it gonna be?
Come on, Mittens.
Uh-oh, just shy of Mittens. It was the Corruptor. No Mittens and no Turkey Sharks today, unfortunately. But if your campaign is still live next week, you can submit again. All right.
I'm sad. I'm curious. Now I'm gonna have to go look at. Well, I don't know. I've never gone back and looked if if one doesn't get picked. I have to be patient and wait and see if they come back next week.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
I usually will go look sometimes and see when their campaign ends and see if they have another chance. But if it looks like it's ending and I'm not going to see it again, then I'll take a look. But I don't want to spoil myself for the show if they're going to be.
I don't want to develop a bias. That's bad.
Let's see a couple of chats here. Divinity Comics says, "What's up? What's up? Never heard of you. Thought I'd drop in."
Oh, welcome.
Welcome. My name is Matt. This is Smurf. I make comics. He loves comics. And we're here to help indie comic creators. So let's get to it. I'll be back next week with Mythins. Welcome. Well, thanks, Greg. And stay tuned. You might get something benefit out of the show. Like I said, we try to go through and give some tips based on experience and things we've learned from trial and error. So you never can tell. A lot of people have commented on how much they learned from this show, and that always makes us feel good.
Yep, best practices. In fact, one of our campaigns retooled their entire video based on our input, and I think that helped pick up their sponsors, so on their funding. So I think there's some stuff to be found here, not just raw entertainment and sexiness.
No, that's you. You're just the raw entertainment and sexiness.
Raw entertainment and sexiness. Yes.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Julie. Welcome, Josh. Everybody's following along here. So let's check out our first one. Penguino's Revenge, Torment Part 2. Let's see. It says it's getting hot in here. Penguino has slayed the Death Dragon and begins his journey into the depths of hell.
Oh my God, it's like Opus the Barbarian Warrior. That is great.
Yeah. It's got a fun feeling to it so far. Let's see. We're at about their halfway point of their goal with 7 days to go. That's always a scary place to be. Let's see. I'm not seeing a video here at the top.
Uh-oh. That's kind of like a new trend lately. I don't know if I like that trend or not. I don't know if I'm put off by that.
Well, I don't know. It's not about necessarily being put off, but like it does take extra work. Sorry if I hit my microphone. It does take extra work, so I get why people are like, I just want to leave that out and get to the other stuff and get this made, because making a video can be a lot of work, as I'm sure our super producer Ray could tell you. But it also is like the first line that people are going to base their opinion on, and people are too lazy to read sometimes. So if you are going to put it in the story, it's going to have to be quick, concise, and to the point. So let's find out if that happens.
Otherwise, it just turns into short attention span theater, and they're off to the show.
Yeah. All right. This looks like it's being put on by Robert Powers. At the first of the story, it says, free sticker for all physical backers, bonuses, Penguin mashup for Deadpool. Okay. Catching on a little bit of the Deadpool craze. Then we've got another cool graphic here. And then we have some information about Rob. And he's a dad with awesome kids.
Okay.
Making sure there's nothing in there. Nope, still about that. There we go. So we're down
quite
four
significantly.
graphics done.
Yep.
So the story so far says, after finding out he was slaughtered by an unknown assailant, Penguino vows to find his way out of hell and get his revenge. So he was slaughtered and sent to hell, and now he's trying to get his way out. Finley, the guppy who gave his life to save Penguino just a few years ago, has suddenly been resurrected. With Finley attached to his hilt, Penguino ventures to the first gate shortly after cutting down the Dragon of Death who has sunk into the Lake of Fire. All right, so that's our
some great imagery there. I like the sounds of it.
Yeah, I mean, and the artwork, like I really love the graphics. It looks like they have some design background. Um,
Yeah, kind of getting a groove vibe here a little bit.
yep, yep. Says the book's completed, only waiting on printing delivery. Now, again, if I remember correctly, let me quickly jump up to the top. This does say that it's part 2, so we're going to need a part 1. So let me see what we got here. First reward is digital. Um, and that gives you the part 2 PDF. So does the second digital. Here we go. And the third digital, you get volume 1 and volume 2. So they do have some stuff that gives you volume 2, or volume 1 and volume 2. And these graphics look great. But I'm going to point out something that I just pointed out last week. But for those of you that weren't here, over here on the upper left here, you can see there's these two little tabs. One says story and the other one says risks. And these two are by default already there in Kickstarter. And every single thing inside this content section, with the exception of maybe, oh my God, there's a lot. And I love that he's showing art and stuff here too. So the only thing that's actually typed out is right here in the risks and challenges. There's no actual words, and something that a lot of people don't know. So this is a tip for you people out there that are making these Kickstarters, and this for sure applies to Kickstarter. I don't know if it applies to the other ones, but there's an algorithm that goes through and it looks at these pages, and when someone types in like, we'll say, hell based comics, or something about journeys at hell or something like that, it's going to scroll through your content, not just look for the name or the title. It's going to look through your content as well, just like any other algorithm does on when you're searching on Google or a website. And if every single one of your pieces of content is just all graphic, it has nothing to search. And so you're not going to rank on the built-in search engine that's on the platform. So
No.
what I recommend is going back and forth. We want the graphics, obviously. We want something to look at. We want to see the pretty images. But, in between them, have a couple sentences so that they know, what's there. And that'll also give you an opportunity to create these little subtitles on the left where you can say, hey, this top part is what this story is about. The second part is the about me section. And this third part is some looks at the interior pages. This last part is the reward section. So they can just jump to what they actually want to look at and skip over the rest, because that's another thing people want.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's better to use and take advantage of those tools, especially if you're not doing a video. Because starting out with the bio, you're burying the lead, which I think in this regard, I would have put the bio at the end or somewhere in the middle or something along that lines. Get them hooked, especially if there's no visual. And the AI has gotten so much better that hashtags are still useful, but as it scans the document, having text, having some bullet points, just even if there's 3 to go with each picture that you post, and there's a lot of pictures there, you're not taking advantage of their search engine. So let them work for you. Couple, eye-catching comments, boom, bang, whatever, slash the dragon. Just make it fun. If you're not going to do a video, I get it, it's difficult, but you're going to have to jazz it up somehow to keep A, people hooked, and B, for someone to find you.
Right. And throw up that comic from Divinity again about the tag descriptors. And Divinity, you're absolutely right. There are tag descriptors, and the tag descriptors, the alt tags are there's 2 reasons. The first primary reason is for people who have a hard time seeing. It will read text for each image and say this image is a picture of a penguin in a Deadpool costume, and so on and so forth, so that it can see what's going on. You can use that information to also put searchable content and keywords, absolutely. But algorithms will search content first before they'll search alt information. And so I
Order
just
of priority.
recommend putting, yeah, that's what the word I was looking for. I would just recommend, putting a little bit of both, because again, we want all these beautiful images, and these images are beautifully done. They're well done, but it definitely will help. Now back to looking at this as a consumer, Smurf, we've scrolled through this. What do you see? What information have you gotten, and what do you think?
Like I said, I think you buried the lead. It's in a series 2. I know getting your information out there is important, but if you're trying to build a following, you already have an existing following. Your bio is not nearly as necessary in that position. You're trying to get people to stay, land on your page, and then scroll down. And like I said, it is short attention span theater out there. Within 3 seconds, which is the average now, if you do not hook your intended audience, they scroll by. So make sure it's impactful. I like the art. Okay, from the fanboy side, not the marketing side or the comic book guy. The art looks great. The story, I'm absolutely in. I want more. I love the fact that we can get issue 1 is one of the rewards. That's perfect. That plays right into like tier 2 or tier 3 as far as your stretch goals, and it costs you nothing. It just gets you more fans, and I think that's spectacular. And I love the art. Like I said, it's very Gru feeling. I want a Penguini pin. All right, I want to pin that thing on one of my Ghostbusters suits, because that dude is great. Character design, art, color palette, all of it beautiful. I mean, I walk away just kind of like, okay, I hope it does well. And I don't know what else to come back with that, because I don't. Okay, yeah, I would leaf through it I would pick it up off the shelf. I would leaf through it at the shelf. I would do that much for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I think this is one of those books that's not so much geared towards connecting to people's like character and emotions, because we're not penguins, we're not in hell, so it's going to be difficult for us to relate. So instead, you're going for the sort of what's the where I'm looking for the novelty factor. It's fun,
the absurd, the wild, the uniqueness. So there's all of this here, and it's not a capes comic. It's definitely not one of the creepier comics. This is a fun, energetic comic, and I think that there is a market for this, absolutely, especially Image has proven that time and time again. So I think you need to get a bigger, better hype, even just do a soundtrack or just something. I don't know. I want to see this succeed, though.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I want to see this succeed as well. I love it. I would definitely even love to talk to this person about working with me to do some graphics, because I have my hands full so much that little things like this are things that I work on that take time, and these are even the same color schemes that I use.
And come on, you know how much fun I would have coming up with a voice for Sir Penguini? Oh, I am here. I am Penguini. I will kick your ass. Give me a bagel. I need that croissant. Come on.
Right.
And what's the name of the fish? Not flounder. Guppy? What was the name of the fish?
No, it wasn't Guppy. It was where's it at? Finley. Finley the Guppy.
I love that. I mean, everyone needs their Sancho, and there's his Finley. That is just perfect. I love it. I'm a big Don Quixote fan. All right, the Man from La Mancha is a hit.
My vehicle is named Sancho.
Right? You gotta have your Sancho. Everybody needs a Sancho. It's not a derogatory comment. Read literature.
All right.
Man from La Mancha. What's next? I don't know what else we could do. I want to see this succeed. How much time is left on this one? You said halfway
7
point.
days. No, they got 7 days left, so it's going to be a tough race.
It's a good tight one. All right.
Let's look on to the next one.
LCS.
Yep.
See, I took notes. I'm doing my job.
Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and... Ray, can you do a quick search for the Corruptor on Kickstarter and give me a link? well, let's go ahead and dive into this. Says LCS number 1 of 2, a post-apocalypse comic about comic collecting. A series of global catastrophes has left life on Earth decimated and made comic collecting a huge disaster. I would think, because my first thought is if the world has been decimated, comics is the last thing I'm going to be caring about. I'm going to find food and shelter, unfortunately.
Maybe there are no more trees to make the comic books with. Maybe AI can no longer do our art. Sorry, too soon.
May you receive 1,000 extra lashes in hell for that
one. Too soon? Too soon? Sorry.
All right.
That can't be a good comment.
All right. Looks like they are a little under halfway to their goal with 5 days to go. So we got some tough races today.
Wow.
But they do have a video, so let's see what the video is all about.
Let's see what the video says.
53 seconds.
Hello, Last Comic Shop listeners. This is John from Part Time Comics. You may have heard of our great series, Drumsticks of Doom, or Child Possession Services, but we have a new series coming out in 2024, LCS. A series of global catastrophes has left life on Earth decimated and made comic collecting a huge disaster. Follow a group of survivors as they run the Last Comic Shop. You can find more information on any of these books at Linktree/Part-Time Comics. That's Part-Time Comics with an X.
Saying it doesn't make it so.
No. I mean, at least throw the website up on the video.
John's in here right now defending his video. So
John, that was quick and to the point. I like your work, buddy. That's impressive.
John has always had some creative ideas, and I love that about him. So my thing with this right away is, again, coming from a point of view when there's characters, especially characters that are relatable, and obviously this is obviously designed to trigger me. I'm a comic collector and a comic book fan, so this is a book about it. So I'm like, okay, I'm a target audience here. Then I'm told that they're all decimated, and I can relate to comic collecting, but as soon as I think about like decimated life on Earth, there's only one comic book shop left in the world, that kind of thing. As a human being, my brain goes, I do not care about that. I need to find food, shelter, water, not die, all that kind of stuff. Can I use this stuff for something for that? Has this become a trade for currency? That's the kind of stuff that would make me relate to it, I guess, a little bit more. Now, the absurdity, the fun factor, the violence factor, those are those things we talked about in the past, the 6 different keys of an intriguing story. So based on what we know so far, like, is this hitting any of those? You know, the first one's violence. Is there going to be violence? You could like allude to it, but it's not coming right out and saying it yet. Is it comedy? Is it relationships? Is it just absurd? Like, we don't have a lot of that yet, right? So I think getting that out there, letting people know what kind of genre book this is, what is, that kind of stuff. Now, before I, jump into this, we might get some of this down below, but before we do you have anything to add?
I mean, like I said in the video, instead of saying the website, I would have said it and had a text with it spelled out so someone can like kind of pause it if they want to go look at it. I mean, saying it is one thing, but still a visual would have been, I think, helpful. I'm a marriage of doing both. I love the absurdity of the whole thing, and it does have like a very Men in Black kind of cartoon style from back in the 90s. I love the art, I love the colors, and I know I said that for the last one, but both of these are great, but different reasons. And with you, I'm like, okay, so are comic book stores now a rarity, and the world is post-apocalyptic, and this is the only way people can relax because everything's been wiped out? I mean, there are questions, and like you said, maybe they will be answered further down. But I mean, you have my attention, so that is good. I do want more information. What do we see as we scroll past the intro?
All right, we got a Project We Love tag. I always love seeing that. I don't know if there's a secret to that. I've done almost a dozen Kickstarters. I don't think I've ever gotten it, so maybe they just don't love my stuff. I don't know. But congratulations on that. Then we've got some cover graphics. So LCS is a post-apocalyptic comic about collecting. A series of global catastrophes has left the Earth decimated. Survivors are left to sift through the ashes for those. Last key issue amongst the wasteland of rubble and pop vinyl. A group of Chicago survivors runs the last comic shop on Earth. They're out on a supply run when their salvage trip becomes a rescue mission. So I feel like that last line is starting to give us a plot.
Yep.
You know, but there's still like it's almost there. Like they're on a salvage run, becomes a rescue mission. Are they rescuing more comics? Are they rescuing a person?
I mean, from what I've seen of nerds, I mean, I don't know if they're capable of rescuing anyone, let alone themselves. So, I mean,
to be fair, he's referring to us as well. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I might be able to fireman carry you out, but I'm like 5 foot tall. I'm dragging you half of the way to the car. So I'm tough, but damn, I'm short. So I'm dragging you. I like the premise. I think this is great. I think a little bit of that text in the video, instead of like naming the website and all of that, I think this would have been better used there.
Yeah, that one, at least that one
that
line.
That tagline right there of "We're on a supply run," and boom, there.
Yeah.
That I think would have gone miles in the video as your delivery versus burying it in the text and further down on the descriptor.
Yeah, and like again, even with even with this bit, like this last sentence gives us a little bit of the plot, which I love. But after watching the video and now reading this, I still don't know, is this a funny comic? Is it a violent comic? Is it, you know, an absurd thing? Like what genre is it? And that's going to make people's decision, you know. There is a thing amongst indie creators where a lot of people just like back each other because we're all indie creators, you know. But you have to really market. To expand your audience, you have to market it to the people who aren't just indie comic creators. Let's see. I was just catching that comment. Put that back up.
The premise is appealing. Market is small now. We might concentrate on the premise and the collectors. And I think it's a great premise. I think it's awesome. I have a visual in my mind right now of, you know, an overweight collector in a radiation suit just hauling balls. I mean, I don't know why, but all I can just see is just like, whoo, whoo, you know, and that to me is fucking funny as hell. I just love that visual now, and I want to see that in this comic. I would look for that in the pages. So I think that there's a lot of room for this, and there's so many different directions to go with it. I love the idea. I would just tweak the video bit a little bit more. And we've got, what, 5 days left, you said? And we're close to goal?
Let's see. It says that they've got some metal covers, which I think is cool. And they glow under black light, which is very radioactive kind of feel.
So gauche. Oh, so gauche. I love it.
And then we've got some original artwork, which is really nice looking. And then some of their previous books, which is, you know, child possession services, which is another one I cracked up on when I
mean, the child possession services. I mean, I lost my shit on that one. I couldn't stop laughing. I missed some of the dialogue because I was busy laughing at that. The one thing that I'm not seeing, and maybe it's because we've been so focused on other things, but I haven't seen too much of the interior art. So a lot of this is just built on the premise. I haven't even seen any of the interior art to further pull me in, which is a good sign, in my opinion, that you've got me, and I haven't even seen much of the art other than that cover shot.
Yeah, we got this cover shot a couple times.
Yeah, it's the same
yeah,
shot
you're right.
recycled. There's no interior
Well, this
artwork.
is
So
it.
to get our
This is it right
attention,
here.
yeah, I mean, that it says a lot for how you've built this and how you've marketed it. I just think it just needs just a little bit, a few more panels and a little bit more in the dialogue, and I think this thing will sail for sure.
So that brings up a good point. John says that
No,
sometimes
absolutely.
I leave it vague not to give away the story, but I can prove. So, and that's a fear that I hear a lot from different people, you know. But there's an old saying that says, you know, if until we know what the story or what the person wants or they're trying to achieve, we don't care. And until we know, we don't know what the story is about. And until we know what the stakes are, we don't care. So like, we know they're trying to, you know, save these comics, and we now know that they're on a supply run with their salvage trip, but that doesn't tell us like what's at stake if they fail. And so
and what's the supply run of? I mean, I still think that still keeps enough like innuendo and like intrigue that I would still be like, well, what are they? What are the supply run? What are they looking for? So I think you could still put that in your pitch and still be achieving what you're looking to, is keeping it vague and keep them hooked. You're not revealing anything, but you're giving them more information to build that eagerness, that sense of completion. And let's face it, collectors are all about completion. I want to know. I want the complete story. Why? So I agree.
Absolutely.
But no, I completely agree with your statement. Want to keep it vague, but not too vague, not too obtuse.
Let's see. I'm
dreaming of
I'm trying to find a way to grab that link from
Christmas. Huh?
I'm trying to find a way to grab that link from that he posted. I can't grab it from our chat.
Oh, from the comments? Yeah, here.
I gotta go to the Facebook.
But all in all, I mean
which I closed.
The child possession services, dude. I want to go. I need to go find that book. As a Ghostbuster, I approve. As a podcaster, I approve. Dude, I could do a whole show based on that guy's comic. Are you kidding me? That is great. So good.
All right, we got it. All right, back out just a little bit. Last one up is
Corruptor.
Corruptor 1 through 2. Oh, you're welcome, John. And again, we got to choose one of these to back or support today, so it still could be yours.
Boy, it's tough.
Continuing the story of a mafia hitman recruited by hell to corrupt souls before the world ends. So, hell is an ongoing theme today.
Have you looked at it outside? The state's on fire. Of course, it's hell out there right now.
Let's see. They are also almost to go. They're like a little over 60%, 70%. 13 days to go. They're on a nice track. And they do have a video, so let's see what the video tells us.
Oh, John's going to send me
Welcome
a
to the world
copy.
of Corruptor, where we follow the afterlife of Tony Scamparza. Once the Mafia's most feared hitman, he now finds himself a pawn in the age-old battle for souls between heaven and hell. After being recruited by hell to corrupt souls, Tony begins a chain of events that will haunt him to his very core. He also discovers that there is more to the afterlife than he could have ever imagined, as he's taken to an afterlife marketplace where anything can be purchased for a price. Join us for our second issue, where Tony's fight to save his soul becomes even more dangerous as he finds himself face to face with a foe who thought long dead. Set in the Immortal Era universe, Corruptor tells the story of the world before it was cursed with immortality. This campaign features a variety of rewards, including options for new readers as well as those continuing their journey.
Okay. That was like
Okay.
a lot of information coming at me real fast. So I almost needed to like watch this again. Um, I'm not gonna, but I'm gonna mute this and so I'll let you start.
Well, that was fast. It was furious. It had a high pitch, a high tempo, which is cool, but maybe too fast. I understand, and I even said 3 seconds. You got to get them hooked. But once you get them hooked, don't push them off too quickly by throwing too much at them. Matt even just said that was a lot to process, and the dialogue was great. I would have slowed it down just a pitch or two as you kind of deliver it, and you can inflect different important parts of the story. Like, okay, he went to hell, but now he's still trying to save his soul. But if he's in hell, how did we get there? So I mean, he just kind of glossed over that. So that should have been, I think, the lead in to why issue 2, what's happening in issue 2. And I like the background and all of that, but we're focusing on the issue 2, what's going on now. And I think just flip-flopping and like, where we've been, what's the story so far, and then kind of, build into that and pace it out a little bit more. But that was a lot. I love the stretch goals. I love all the different covers. He didn't waste any time on those, and just boom, boom, boom. It looks compelling. I like the premise. I mean, it's like Spawn meets Lucifer. I'm very interested. It's just wow. There's a lot there.
So one of the things that I was thinking about when I was watching through this the first time, trying to process everything, is obviously I'm trying to figure out like, what's this about? And I got the idea, that he was a hitman and he went to hell. I didn't get a whole lot of reasons of like, the why of what they're using him for, stuff like that. But like, at one point he was talking about how, some demon is walking him around the shopping, area in hell, and anything can be purchased, that you need to do your job or whatever. And that's, a cool thing to have in your story, but that's kind of like in a trailer for John Wick explaining how coins work. It's not relevant information that I need to know in order to like get the gist of things, to understand what the story. So you take out those 5 seconds or whatever, that gives you 5 seconds more to slow down and give us something more useful. Again, it's what is this about? Who is it about? What are they after? What happens if they don't succeed?
Well, and why was he picked? Of all the people that are in hell, I mean, this one guy who is, obviously in hell for killing people, is now there to seduce people. So, I mean, what's the carrot? Why is this guy doing it? Why does he care? I mean, and again, I know it kind of probably relates to him trying to save his soul, but if he's already in hell, where's the redemption? I mean, where's the cat in the tree moment? And I know my writer friends will understand what that means. So I'm like you. I think just I need a little bit more just to kind of sift through everything else.
Right. And I did also, want to make note that like he mentioned that this is a kind of an offshoot tie-in from another series, which I think I actually have already from a previous campaign, called, I forget what it was called, Immortals or something like that. Because I recognize this cover.
Yeah, the universe that it's built in.
Yeah, and basically in that story arc, like everybody can't die. And so like somebody's trying to find a way just to help them die, which was, again, a unique and interesting premise. But I like that he didn't spend a whole lot of time on that, because that was just a quick little mention. This is part of a bigger universe, that kind of thing. Because again, your videos and your pitches should be geared towards people who don't know anything. If you only pitch them to returning audiences, then you're going to keep a small audience. And
Nope, you're alienated. And I like the subnote. Like this happens. This takes place in this universe, and I think that was perfect touch. It gives me kind of a point of reference because I have heard of that, and I was like, okay, so I can see how this would fit in that universe. But the story itself is still kind of not convoluted, but it's a little murky. Kind of like, okay, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, again, we go back to those things that are. What is it that make people want to buy comics other than just showing their support or their love for comics? We're talking about stories in general, right? So based on the idea that this is hell and a mafia hitman, I can assume that there's going to be violence. So if you like violence, you're probably going to like this comic, right? But is that it? Is there a somebody he's trying to get back to, a love interest? Is there some reason that he was fighting so hard? You know, that part can help grab people's emotional triggers and, you know, broaden your audience beyond just the people who like violence, but also some people who are like want to have, you know, some grounded relationships or, you know, friendships or things like that. And so those are the kind of things that you want to mention in your pitches so that you can reach as many people as possible. This is not a great example, but that's why Marvel movies started having a bunch of comedy in them, because they wanted to get the entire spectrum. They wanted to have action and violence as well as comedy and all that stuff. And they kind of overdo it, trying to hit everything. And not every comic has to hit every point. I mean, The Punisher is basically just nothing but violence. But that's also why it had
He was until they sent him to heaven. Oh no, he's in another dimension taking care of children. That's right. They banished the Punisher to another dimension to look after children.
Apparently, you remind someone of Jerry Lawler.
The wrestler Jerry Lawler? Wow, I haven't gotten that one before. Ron White is usually the common. That's the common one. And I've gotten Matt Damon, Kiefer Sutherland, Ron White. But I've never got Larry Lawler. I have gotten what's his face? Hoffman. Robert C. Hoffman, whatever. I can't always forget his name.
I know what you're talking about.
But thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Lawler was a badass. Anyway, sorry.
All right. There's a couple more things about the story I want to look into here. It says, welcome back to the world of Corruptor. In issue 1, we are introduced to Tony Scomparsa. It's Scomparsa? I don't know how to say that. The Mafia's deadliest hitman. For years, Tony worked the mob's most daunting and dangerous jobs. Unfortunately for him, he found a job that was too big for even his great skill set. After dying on the job, he quickly discovers that death is the least of his problems. I like how he's putting words between these pictures, just like I was saying.
No, that's perfect.
Upon his death, he finds himself a pawn in a twisted game of souls being played between heaven and hell. A game that will be abruptly coming to an end when the new millennium begins and all portals to afterlife will close indefinitely. Just when he thought things couldn't get worse, Tony discovers that afterlife is far more complicated than he could have imagined. All right, so there's better information, a little bit better information there, and a little bit easier to process there, but it is going to require that people scroll quite a bit.
Scroll down.
At least they get to see some cool artwork along the way.
Yep. I like that demon. That dude's huge.
Yeah. Nice artwork, nice premise. Again, what I'd like to see is when you say, you know, a pawn in the twisted game of souls between heaven and hell, obviously I think of like Constantine. A game abruptly coming to an end when a new millennium begins and all portals afterlife will close indefinitely. So that sounds epic and ending, but like I don't know, like what kind of stake that is, you know, especially for this character, you know.
Well, and then everybody doesn't die. Everyone's immortal. So if the doors close, what does it matter? I mean, is this a chance
in a sense,
for?
Yeah.
So I mean, you've kind of written yourself into a corner. If everyone lives forever and the doors to the afterlife are closed, then I mean they're living anyway. So I'm confused on the stakes. What's it? What's the cost? What's the cost to the character? Besides the fact that he's in hell.
I feel like just, you know, and you can agree or disagree, but my 2 cents on this is I feel like adding in some sort of reason that he wants to do something, whether it's to save his family, save his daughter, to something, to do, that he has a reason, is going to give something that grounds people. Because all this other stuff, it requires reading and understanding what the premise and the world and the story building is all about before I can really like process the whole thing. But something like he's just trying to, survive all this craziness and get back to his daughter is something everyone can understand,
Right.
And
I mean, even if it's just redemption. I mean, he's killed a lot of people. I mean,
Right.
is he sorry? Is he looking for some form of redemption, some reason to feel? I mean, you can't feel good about yourself, but at least redeem the fact that your body count is
right.
yikes.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
So I feel like whether or not that's going all the way back to the writing, but maybe that's in the writing and I just don't know it yet, and so it might just be at the level of the marketing aspect of it. But that piece I feel like will give a lot more people a reason to attach themselves to it. Right.
Right.
By the way, we can see what you're drawing, Smurf. Cheater. All right. So, on that note, we should decide on our final choice for the night or the day.
Of the day. I just noticed what time it was. It was coming close to the end, and then I mean, I don't want to leave prematurely, but this
Right.
boy's got like audio work to go do, and
Yep.
the day is calling.
So, as a reminder, let's walk through. You guys can leave your comments below about which one you think is the best choice or which one you like the most and why. But as a reminder, we've got Pinguino's Revenge, which looks like a fun comic.
I like the pinguino. Give me a croissant. I want more of the pinguino. I'm gonna make some pinguino pasta tonight. Sorry.
We have LCS #1, the post-apocalyptic comic about comic collecting. And then we have The Corruptor here, which is about a mobster in hell. Right? So what are your choices down below? I'm putting mine down right here. I am ready. It's going to be very simple little card today. I saw something about a vowel and I didn't catch it. But anyway, are we ready? Did I lose Smurf? Did I lose everybody? No, we still got everybody but Smurf. I think we lost Smurf. However, I already know what Smurf put on his plate, so I'm also not seeing any of the new chats, so not really sure. All right, did we lose? It looks like we might have lost Smurf. But yeah, that's a good time for the whoops, right? Poor guy's internet. Hell is coming for me, he says. All right. Dead Camo says Pinguino. I'm just stalling for a second or two to give Smurf a chance to get back. If not, we're going to go ahead and call it. But we'll just give him a couple seconds there. But he's using his phone, so he probably lost his internet. All right, guys. I already know what he picked because he had it written down and I saw him writing it. Greg says he likes all three. I think all of them have potential, that's for sure. So there he is right there. And that is mine as well. So 5280 Geek and LCS agreeing this week. I know I was going to ask for the drum roll, but his vote came up, so we did that. All right. So congratulations to John Wessoff for LCS. One of the two of us will be supporting your comic shortly. Also, be posting a congratulations post on our page so that you get a little bit more exposure. And if there's anything that we can do to help any of your campaigns, feel free to let us know. We're always here to help. Again, you can find our shows, all the previous shows. There's lots of good content. Sometimes we really have dove into detail, but you can find that on YouTube at Matt Campbell Art. You can follow us on Action Line Studios on Facebook. And if you want to support this show and keep us doing this show, you can support us with $1 a month, $5 a month at patreon.com/Action Line Studios. Also, if you're into podcasts, we also take all these shows and put them on the 5280 Geek podcast. So there's places you can just listen to it while you're driving down the road and not get distracted and crash. So we don't want that. All right. So with that, we're going to let everyone go. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next Friday live right here on Kickstarter and YouTube.